Ryan's starting to smile.
I don't know what I said.
Wow. Oh, I'm in charge of this thing. I can't laugh too much.
It's funny as fuck.
This is shit that somebody will clip and be like, "Look at these guys."
It's the music, man. Oh, I can't breathe.
Oh man.
Oh man. I'll piss my pants.
This is fucking Jay. I'm so mad.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Oh my God.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Oh man, that's so great.
Yeah.
Jay,
And,
you there right, bro?
I
Jay's
can't
dying.
hold it.
Fuck,
Jay, you're
Jay.
still laughing.
Jay's losing his shit, bro. Like,
Jeffery,
I tried to hold it together. I was like,
I don't know why I can't stop laughing at this.
There you go.
Water.
Jay, drunk through PO, unmute. God. What's wrong with Jay?
I'm in a bad mood right now. It's not related to any of the topics there. You know why I'm in such a bad mood? Because there's a certain prick in England who's now vacationing in Miami named Daniel Levy, who just made the decision to sell Harry Kane almost, I don't know, 40, 48 hours before our game against Brentford. Like, look at the top and play. So, actually, even until Sunday, and we've had our best, one of our best players is about to be sold to Bayern. And guess what? Yesterday, me and most Spurs fans were so happy. I'm just so mad right now. I mean, welcome to JaredCast, where today we're going over a negative day. but that's not something I want to talk about. Other than fuck Daniel Levy. Fuck Daniel Levy. Fuck that cocksucker. Someone needs to pie him like how Bill Gates is pied. So let's get started by the fact that, unfortunately, that Ohio, I'm just going to check on Rumble to see if we got anything. No, nothing. But I'm alive on Rumble. We've got nothing so far. Like, I hate the way that this works. So Ohio the other day was the issue. So let me get the video. Sorry guys, I am such in a bad mood. So let's go to our friend Buckeye Politics, who we have. Let's see. The provision for to change the amending of the Ohio Constitution has failed. I forgot what the final tally of all the votes was, but unfortunately lost by an overwhelming land. I wouldn't be worried. Yes, it's a loss. Yes, we probably had stolen. I'm not going to speculate. Just stating what I think, what I believe. It's unfortunate, I know. But we gotta just move forward. We can't let it get to us. We've still got the Kentucky governor race coming up. We've got a lot coming up. I wouldn't dwell on this too much. I wouldn't dwell on this too much. Because it is a tragedy. Because I think Ohio has something coming up with abortion wise in a few months. And it's like in November they have a elect. they have a vote on abortion. This is very, very bad. Uh, I would say this is very bad, but I think actually that it will get passed still. I still think that there'll be it'll just be a close vote, and that Ohio's abortion laws will have been decided by that time. Sorry, I'm really just unfortunately upset. And it's unfortunate because we're going to get into a lot more something very much more upsetting that I wish I didn't learn about, because truly it's really bad. I mean, and I was thinking about making a video clip. I'm probably not going to make this into a video clip because it's such a short topic. We didn't get our way in Ohio. I wouldn't worry. Still got a long way to go. All right. So now we get to the real stuff I don't want to talk about because off. I gotta first show this because this just brightened my day up. First, I'm going to be back. I just need to clip a nail. All right, that was really quick. So first I want to share this. This is from an account, the Political Pomp. Follow her, please.
Family around the table don't watch and don't trust CNN. There is reverence for Ronald Reagan here. But listen.
The trust is gone.
Reagan's optimism replaced by Trump's grievances.
We got to find our own way to take care of ourselves.
Reagan's disdain of big government replaced by Trump's distrust of just about everything.
I think he thinks he was stolen from him.
Still questions about the 2020 election.
And I had a lot of people who agreed with him.
Criticism of the Trump prosecutions.
But nothing about that deal is the American way. I don't think.
And this.
If you think the United States should be supporting Ukraine in the fight against Putin, raise your hand. Nobody.
You don't have to be that smart to connect the dots, right? And so is the war to cover up sins committed so you can cover your tracks?
Yes.
there's too much money that's been thrown over there.
You think all the NATO countries would do what Biden told them to do because he's trying to cover up some Hunter Biden business deal by?
It all depends on how Zelensky, how much dirt he has on Biden to keep the money coming.
Mm-hmm.
That's out there.
Yeah, because it's my deal, right?
Hey, well, how do you trust when you know the government has shut down Facebook and shut down Twitter and told them to not show certain news stories?
A few days here makes clear Trump's grip is very strong.
Because people can finally relate to him. I mean, and as I get to the other stuff, who would have thought a billionaire from New York was relatable to farmers in Iowa in the rest of the Midwest? Who would have thought that? I mean, at the time, I would have never thought that when Trump initially ran, but now I just don't understand how people can be this arrogant. These people are this arrogant. And so, let's just get into this. So, Political Palm has been doing a lot of this recently. That's actually some good news. Pantera, this dog, got adopted. Let's read. And you just saw 2 hours ago, Kill Command. And I've been retweeting. If you see my Twitter feed, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll know what's going on. And you want to know what's going on? What's happening here? Well, most of this is going on, from what I can tell, in New York City, and is being perpetrated by the NYCAC, the New York City Animal Control Center, I believe is how you say it. And what they're doing is they're barely giving any time for the dogs to find a family to adopt them. And what I'm getting interpreted from a lot of the accounts, and some of these are even liberal, a lot of them are also conservatives. Doesn't matter what the political divide is. This feels like the Bush years, where we could both be united against the establishment. And let's see. I should have brought this up because let's see, the Holocaust that's being committed against these dogs is all I can describe it. And I'm just gonna, God. Honestly, this person, Susan Anderson, has a good point that I thought about. Why does the NYCAC even bother? These pups stand a better chance at life on the street than this slaughterhouse. And though that's just the facts. And there's one that ended up getting so. And let me see. DC? All right. I think we've got the name of the person. So this is who Risa Weinstock. So this is our Himmler. I'm not saying that she is, but just what's going on here. And according to this person, Jin for USA, she's the CEO of and she thus makes all the decisions. I'm not sure who this account is, but they're suspended. And I can't. So make it well known that this woman, Risa Wein, she makes all these decisions. I honestly, it's just like how they're Planned Parenthood. This is another genocide. It's being killed, and taxpayers fund this. And they're doing this for money, folks. Risa Weinstock is killing these ants. Let me. Person is actually evil. What she's doing to these dogs is criminal. They only suspected cancer with this one butch. They just, it's clearly isn't being run well. Okay, there are places, even in California, the shelters are run better, and that thing sucks because California and Texas, they aren't the best. They don't have the best, but they're run much better than New York, where it's killing for money. And this could. And all you need to do is just look. This woman is this Operations Himmler. disgusting. And I'm hoping that people will bring attention to this woman. I can't. Yeah, this woman. We need to bring attention about this woman. Let me actually send her. I just gotta get more and listen. There's really not much other information other than she's giving a lot of these orders. And I actually have their website, so to any of you, screen cap this. These are the people. And they try and portray themselves as so loving. Oh, we're so loving. We just take stray dogs, abuse them, then inject. Perfectly healthy. And I just found this. There's a change.org. This is not true. It's got my name, but it's got everything. I don't live here, just to let you know, and I'm not going to share my personal information. That's a fake. In fact, I don't live in New Province, and I'm not going to share where I live. But please, I doubt Levy's going to want to sign another player. I'm just watching an interview with Pat. Yeah, it looks official. Fabrizio Romano confirmed it. Like Tottenham need to get gift for Ba. We need to get him. But that's just, I went over the news about the dogs. I went over the Ohio news. Now So a certain man named Jeffrey, lead him. Oh no. Oh, you, Dr. Dosh Onderwitz Goldstein. Oh my God, Bill Mitchell does look a little. I think he looks creepier. Like, no. Ugh. So, what? So, 4 years ago today, it was announced that Jeffrey Epstein had deleted himself in a prison. And we got some stuff. Yeah? All right. No. So, yes, so Lionel. And here's what's he self-deleted 4 years ago today, and nothing's came out. And a lot of putting out some fake stuff, because Trump wasn't on it. Trump actually banned Epstein from his place. And the people, it's unfortunate for the people who are already named Jeffrey Epstein. Oh.
We fought a revolution in 1776 to create a country where we, the people, held our government accountable. That government was accountable to us, not the other way around. And that means that government is accountable for telling the truth. We, the people, we can handle the truth. The truth about the COVID-19 origin and who funded the lab-created leak. We can handle the truth about what exactly happened with the vaccine mandates and the mask mandates. We can handle the truth about government-coordinated censorship with private companies. We can handle the truth with a Hunter Biden laptop story that was systematically suppressed on the eve of an election. We can handle the truth about the Jeffrey Epstein client list. We can handle the truth from our government. There is no such thing as a noble lie. No lies are noble, especially when they come from our government. That's why one of the lies that I want to get to the bottom of is what's really going on with the Nashville shooter manifesto. It has now been over 4 months since 6 people tragically lost their lives in that shooting. What we do know, or at least what we've been told, is that Audrey Hale, a transgender individual, shot people at a Christian school in Nashville. The FBI and the police committed to release the manifesto. We deserve to know what happened. If not, we can expect far worse in the future. I don't care whether it's the Jeffrey Epstein client lists, to the secrets of what happened on January 6th, or how many FBI agents were in the field, to what happened in the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping case. We need a government that starts telling the truth to its people again. This example in Nashville is just another case of hiding and sweeping beneath the rug what the truth actually is, which actually erodes trust in our government and in our system. That's why on Wednesday this week, I will be going to Nashville, hosting a press conference with other community leaders, other voices, demanding that we, the public, learn the truth, demanding that the FBI and the police follow through on their stated commitment to make that manifesto public. We know that transgenderism is a mental health condition. We know that it has been viewed that way for most of our national history. We know that this poses a danger to people around them when it results in school shootings like the one that we had. If that is the truth, we deserve to know. If it was something else, we still should know that too. But the bottom line is, we the people deserve a government that speaks the truth, that stands for the truth. And if the government won't do it, then we the people will stand for the truth. We will not back down from the truth. We will host that press conference in Nashville this Wednesday. We expect
So
Roberts, we would not put it on.
From Eric Spark and Spracklen. I'm not sure who this is, but I'll give you a follow.
On the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us in a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like every day I get more and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, what we had was unreal. Other women backing it up. Hey, yep. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known. And I had it all 3 years ago.
Self-regret. This is Chansley, Jacob, the Q Shaman. Guy, I kind of want to get the Q Shaman on.
Isn't the stolen election theory just one of the conspiracy theories spouted by QAnon? I mean, do you still believe a secret cabal controls global governments? Do you still believe Hollywood and the liberal Democrat elite crave the blood of children in a bid to sustain their youth and run a vast paedophile ring devoted to abduction and sexual abuse of children? Do you believe those things?
Do you mean like what Jeffrey Epstein was doing?
That's a roast. All right, let me just see. How are we doing on Rumble? Because it doesn't really show. This is really my first time doing this on Rumble. Seems like we're doing decently well. I don't know. I'm probably going to have to, as I go on in the future, I'm going to have to do more of this. But let's just see what else is coming now. Actually, something that I forgot to do was, so Tucker Carlson did an interview with Tristan Tate recently. And he also did with Devin Archer, but I don't think I'm going to get to. I'll just do the first few minutes of the Tucker Tate interview.
That there are apparently women involved in your human trafficking gang.
Yeah, in this organized criminal gang. So what you have to understand is this. They didn't want the case file, the evidence to be that I manipulated people by being nice to them to make TikTok videos. That's not what they wanted. They put me all over the news. They searched every house I own in the country with armed men. They were looking for victims of something.
Yes.
They were looking for scorned ex-girlfriends. Any woman to come forward and say that she was hurt by me. They were looking for real evidence. The fact that the case file is so laughable now is just because real evidence doesn't exist. So when you have no real evidence, you go for junk evidence. You try to make your case on human trafficking based on, well, they were nice to these girls on TikTok. And these are girls who would say to me, hey, share my post on Instagram. I'll be like, yeah, no problem. So, because I'm a big social media guy. I don't know a single person when I had Instagram, from my cameraman to my personal trainer, who didn't ask me to blow them up on Instagram. But that is now the link they have between me and these people, saying that they're human trafficked, even though these people, defend me. But there are two women involved, yes. My personal assistant and her friend got thrown in prison with me.
That's crazy. Holy crap. I don't think anyone knew about this. So apparently they're running a human trafficking ring, and I think this is something common. This was because obviously Epstein had Ghislaine during his operations, but I doubt this friend of this, I guess it was his ex.
Essentially, their crime was inviting one of the alleged victims to a birthday party that I wasn't even at.
What? Wait. So let me get this straight. Tristan Tate was not supposedly the accomplice of Andrew Tate in a sex trafficking ring. He was, I think, these two women he knows. Guess one of them was an ex-girlfriend, another was a friend of the sex. So apparently they invited one of the victims to a birthday party that Tristan Tate was at, and they get locked up. How does that work? I don't know. They're going to go. They go after appeal for strange off the day. They're going after Trump for the Georgia indictment. It's not going to work. Like, you know what I mean?
That happened in this house. That's how they.
How
tied them in.
long were these two women in prison?
The same 92 days. The same 92 days. You know, the worst part.
Have they been charged?
Yeah, along with us. They're part of the organized criminal gang, which is hilarious because Luana, one of the girls, has never, ever, in the whole 6 years I've known her, had a conversation with Andrew once. They don't know each other. Andrew didn't even know her name. And she's apparently a part of this organized criminal gang. The interesting part is, do you remember Christopher Hitchens when he was alive?
I knew him well.
Oh, well, I've never met the guy, but I read an article he did for Vanity Fair about 11 or 12 years ago, where he volunteered to be waterboarded to test the effectiveness of torture on foreign prisoners. And the conclusion he came to was, in the article, and I remembered it vividly when I was in jail, if you don't have the answer to their questions and you are being tortured, you can psychologically break. You have to be torturing people who do know the answers. Otherwise, this is an ineffective mode of operating. And essentially, the way I look at the way these two women were treated was they were locked in prison because they know us. They're an attack vector on us. One is my personal assistant, so she knows everything I do. She does airport pickups, pays my electricity bills. And every week or so, they had the keys of freedom dangled in front of them. Are you ready to tell us about the Tate's criminal activities now? And they said no, and they stayed in prison. The next week, you ready to tell us about the criminal activities that the Tate brothers did? And the problem is, they can't have told the police about criminal activities that I take part in because those criminal activities don't exist. So I see it as a method of psychological torture. I'm not mad I was sent to jail. Any notions of being angry at injustice and stuff that I truly have in my soul is for those two girls who went to jail with me because they didn't deserve it. I mean, I've probably done something in my life that made me deserve something. You know, these are two wonderful people. And they were sent to prison with me. One for having the crime of being my personal assistant, and one for the crime of knowing me and showing up at parties where these alleged victims who say they weren't victims are at. And they're charged in this organized criminal
But
gang.
to be clear, none of the charges pertain to sex,
no,
rape,
no,
selling anyone,
no,
slavery, moving people across international borders to pimp them out.
No, but that's certainly what they would have wanted. It's not the fact that as I said, the evidence is junk because they now have to put a case together.
But I'm confused as to how what you're being accused of constitutes human trafficking.
Well, it's a very loose law. It's a very,
but the term doesn't seem to have a real definition.
No, it doesn't, especially when you understand that the Romanian alleged victims, who say they're not victims, have lived in this country for 10 to 15 years before I ever showed up here. So I'm not sure how the trafficking took place. But in a very loose way, they had to prove I was doing something with women by coercing them for my financial benefit, which is how we ended up with the TikTok story. Because the real evidence they wanted, maybe the prosecutors, maybe the people who attacked me genuinely thought I was a pimp. Maybe they did when they started this. And they assumed that the perp walk and putting me in handcuffs and walking me in front of the cameras would have women coming forward saying they were harmed. Maybe they were looking for real evidence. I don't believe if they knew that they were going to end up with this TikTok story, they would have initiated this attack in the first place. I really don't think.
Why do you think they did? What do you think this is actually about?
I think this is about Andrew. And the way to attack somebody is through his loved ones. I'm not going to say that, Andrew got me put in jail. But what a way to get to Andrew than to throw his little brother in jail and say he's...
Oh, definitely. Let me get
part
a
of the gang.
That's a better image. That's a good statement by Tristan Tay. Honestly. I mean, go threaten loved ones. That's probably why so many people haven't come out against the new, or they're some drama going on in the Snake Pit Discord. Continue.
He's a human trafficker too. Because I don't even have any allegations of misogyny against me. I've never made a YouTube video and joked about men being better drivers. I've never done any of these things, but I had to go to jail along with him. So attacking me was a way of attacking him, and attacking my personal assistant and her friend, I think, was a way of hoping you were going to turn these women into prosecution witnesses, essentially, to lie and say that we did crimes. Yeah, it's about Andrew and his message. That's all it's about.
And it's the gender role stuff, you think?
The gender role stuff, telling men to be men, it's just dangerous.
Yo, he just lights a cigar.
The gender role stuff, telling men to be men, it's just dangerous for what the Andrew calls the matrix, or the deep state is trying to purport on men today. It's very interesting to think that the first man ever banned from discussion in UK public schools is Andrew Tate. Adolf Hitler, you were allowed to talk about him during World War II and after World War II. The leader of Argentina during the Falklands War, Osama bin Laden after 9/11, terrorists, school shooters, the 7/7 bombers who attacked the subway in London. You were allowed to discuss all these people in school. The first man ever to be banned is a mixed race, a half-black kid from the projects who came up out of the projects and became a multimillionaire. Maybe they just want the working class to stay the working class. Maybe they don't want people like him opening his mouth. Maybe it's because he joked that men are better drivers than women, and he's a misogynist. I don't think it's the third option. I think it's either option one or option two. I think he's dangerous to what people want to purport on the society. And it's as simple as that. It's certainly not because I've human trafficked anyone. That's not why I was in jail. That can't be why I was in jail, because that had never happened.
What was it like being in jail with your brother?
Romanian jail is no picnic. But frankly, once they moved me into a room with Andrew, frankly, I quite enjoyed jail. You know, I think that when I got out, I spoke to a girl I knew, and she goes, you know, in 3 years, you'll laugh about this. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I was laughing in jail, and I'm laughing right now. They might send me back for 5 years for TikTok theft. But TikTok theft, that's what I'm officially accused of. But frankly, I quite enjoyed it. I feel like me and my brother are very busy people. We live together. We've spent every waking hour together since we were born, essentially. But we have our own lives to live. You know, I've got my daughter. I've got business to run. He's got business to run. We're both at our laptops a lot. We're on our phones a lot. We're on our devices a lot. I said to Andrew after the first month, I said, you know, we may have had more meaningful conversations this month than we would have potentially had this year if we hadn't been sent to jail. So I feel like our relationship is stronger than before. And there's no universe where I can't make Andrew laugh. And you have all the time in the world to play your stupid jokes. So every time someone didn't want to smoke a cigarette, you insult him, you call him names. That's what guys do. Andrew would go out to visit the doctor or the lawyer, etc. I don't know if he's going to be back in 10 minutes or in an hour. And I'd open a pack of cigarettes and stand by the door like this. So the first thing he does when he opens the door is me forcing him to smoke a cigarette. I had all the time in the world to play jokes on him. So I still don't see it as such a negative thing. And people will call me crazy. But it was me and my brother drinking coffee, smoking cigarettes, talking. You know, we have an innumerable amount of stories and experiences and ideas, and he knows things I don't. I know things he doesn't. I'm a Christian, he's a Muslim. We have ideas that conflict, and we debate because we're smart. And I really think it brought us closer together.
What was it like to be off your phone for 9 months or 90 days?
92 days. It was, you get used to it very quickly, but you have nothing to do with your hands. That's the problem. My cigarette's gone out. That's why I started smoking. But everything became entertainment. I don't like junk food. I don't like sugar. Andrew would get a chocolate bar from somewhere. You want half? Yeah, fine. Because that was fun. New sensations became entertainment. We had a bottle of mouthwash. We didn't use it every time. Every 4 days, I'd use some mouthwash. It would kind of make me smile because it would remind me of life outside of prison. So in this world of constant bombardment and constant stimulation, you find an appreciation for the things in life that you overlooked before. A handshake, a hug, a joke. And I appreciated those things much more now that I've come out of jail than I ever did before.
What an interesting take on it. What did you meet anyone interesting in there?
Interesting. Define interesting. I met people, to be fair to the Romanian justice system, it works the way it does because Romania hasn't got much money. If you arrest some guy because you suspect he's been breaking into cars, for example, and you can't hold him without evidence and you let him go, you'll never find him again. He'll go back to his village and you'll never see the guy again. So there was one kid who was in jail for looking in car windows, essentially. We're going to investigate this guy month after month after month. Couldn't afford lawyers, was just sitting around in jail. So people had very interesting stories. I met heroin dealers, real human traffickers. I mean, like actual human traffickers. I'd go to court and the policeman who would escort me would say, oh, they definitely got to let you out. And I say, why? They said, because I see real human trafficking cases. They've got basements and dungeons with urine-stained mattresses and handcuffs and messages saying, better get back out on the streets. That's real human trafficking. They're accusing you because you told a girl to post a TikTok video at a certain time because it's better interaction. That's their evidence against you. You're definitely getting out. And then I didn't get out. And all the police were shocked. So I met some very interesting prisoners. I met some very interesting prison guards. Yeah, but
what were the guards like?
The guards were very good people.
Really?
I feel like the guards knew, they know what a criminal is and what a criminal isn't. I'm not going to say they knew my case. I'm not going to say they knew I was innocent, but they know what human traffickers, rapists, sexual criminals actually look like because they deal with them day to day. One of the policemen was telling me a story of after a day in court, he had to stay in the police van. His hands were shaking because he couldn't escort the guy back into jail because he said I was going to get on my nightstick and break his teeth in because he saw what the guy had been doing to children. These guys know what real criminals look like. And a lot of them just wanted to make sure we were okay. They didn't want anything bad to happen in the prison. And I could say I made 2 or 3 friends from the guards. They were very good people doing their job diligently, and nobody abused their power and nobody mistreated anyone. Yeah, real good people. And they weren't the ones who did this to me. So I couldn't harbor any hate towards them.
Who do you think did it to you?
I don't want to say anything that's going to get me into trouble on this one.
But you have a good sense of it.
Let's just say this would have happened in any NATO or European Union country that I chose to live in. It would have happened. It would have happened in Spain. It would have happened in Poland. It would have happened in France. The French, the Spanish, and the Polish have nothing against me. I think the Romanians really have nothing against me. The Romanian people love me. Romania is the most is the most Christian country in the world outside of the Vatican City. 98.8% Orthodox Christian. These people share the same values as me. They don't feel people like me should be locked up.
Definitely. Alex Jones actually made a statement a couple months ago about how the real reason Andrew Tate got locked up was because he was a Muslim in Romania. And if you know anything about the history of what happened, how the Muslims, they took over Romania for hundreds of years under the Ottomans and the Romanians resisted. Yeah, it's a big history story. I would talk another time about.
I have so much support in Romania from both powerful people and common people alike. So it's very hard for me to believe that the Romanians woke up one day and thought, this guy who publicizes how wonderful our country is and spends millions of dollars here in this country, let's get him. I find it very difficult to believe that that was a Romanian idea because it's not the kind of thing you would do. Why would you? If you had a great neighbor move into your neighborhood, raise the property values, talk about how great your neighborhood is, he was a law-abiding citizen, didn't hurt anyone, would you think, yeah, we need to go throw petrol bombs in his house? Let's burn his house down. Let's get him out. No, you wouldn't. So I believe this would have happened anywhere. So I won't say who did it, but I don't hold Romania responsible at all. And I never will. People said if they drop this case, oh, they can't just drop it because you'll sue the country. And I famously tweeted, I will never sue the country of Romania. Romania has struggling hospitals, struggling orphanages, infrastructure issues. The pensions are a mess. The teachers need pay rises. They've made me feel welcome up until this point. And this has been my home country. My daughter is a Romanian. I'm not going to steal $200 million from the government and do what with it? I don't need the money. I don't want this to reflect negatively on this country in any way, but it has. Who with money and power and influence wants to come here now? I mean, it's made people nervous, and that hurts me. As I said, my daughter is a Romanian citizen. This is her country. So it's my country too, isn't it? So I don't like the reputational damage this country has faced. And exactly who did it, I think in 5 or 6 years, we'll find out. There'll be fingerprints on a lot of pieces of paper that we'll be able to know exactly why this happened. But it didn't happen because I'm a human trafficker. Do you feel human trafficked? Do you feel kidnapped, Tucker, here in my house?
I feel very charmed, and that's a form of human trafficking.
Yeah, no, technically it is, yeah.
Oh. When did you become a Christian?
Shortly after moving here.
Really?
I was disenfranchised with Christianity. I just mentioned Christopher Hitchens. I read a few books that he wrote when I was younger. And I thought, you know what? I looked around England and the way society was collapsing and the way Christians behaved. I mean, this pride flags in churches, this is a relatively new phenomenon, but let's just say it started with versions of reality I saw like that. And I thought, you know, Christians don't really stand for anything anymore. I challenge any atheist to walk around Romania and just insult Jesus Christ to the normal Romanian man. People say, oh, well, if you insult the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the Muslims will punch you in the face. Go and do that in Romania and insult Jesus. The Romanians stand for something. And I saw how Christianity holds this country together. You couldn't wear that watch in London. Walking around London with that watch and no bodyguards could be a death sentence. You could get as drunk as you like by yourself in any bar in Bucharest with that watch on and no one's going to steal it from you. The Romanian people are good people, and Christianity is what helps hold the society together. Also, the maternal grandfather of my daughter is an Orthodox Christian priest. So even when I was dating his daughter, he was insisting that the grandkids have to be baptized, etc. And I fell back into Christianity by reading the Bible cover to cover 6 years ago. And it opened my eyes to what I was standing against as an atheist. And I thought, why would I stand against this? And then look at atheists. Go to these men standing naked with their dicks out in front of kids, you know. These people aren't Christians. Look at how the atheists behave, how they fetishize serious issues like abortion. I had 30 abortions. This is funny. No, it's not funny. I'm not even saying it should be illegal. That's not funny. These are all atheists. These are the godless people. That's my team. I looked around and thought, these people don't represent me. Why am I saying I'm an atheist? Let me at least investigate what I'm missing out on. And that's what converted me.
What was your childhood like?
You know, I don't want to say difficult. I don't want to say difficult because me and my brother were always a team and we always lifted each other up in difficult situations. And now that I look back on things, when we first moved to England, we lived in a homeless shelter for 3 years with a bunch of other families. We had one single room, my mother, my sister, my brother, and me. And when I was a kid, like you'd go to your friend's house at school and then he'd be like, I'll come to your house next weekend. My mother would have to explain to his mother, look, he can't come here. We live in a homeless shelter. But it never really hurt me at the time. I didn't feel like I was hard done by the world. I didn't feel like a victim. I didn't have this victim mentality because my father wouldn't allow me to think that way. So I can say it was difficult in retrospect compared to how my kids are going to.
Mm-hmm. Making good points, but I think that's where we're going to end at. Like, share, comment, subscribe, pray for Alex, Carthy, and Brian Jane. Gonna go grind myself this.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.